Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So I've been saying I was going to put out part 2 of Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Decoding. And guys, it didn't really come up much anymore. Because I'll provide part 1, we'd already decoded a lot of it, and I just had a little left. So as it comes to turn out, I mean, this is starting to repeat itself a little bit. And we're basically, in the last 5 lines of the page or so, so I don't feel it's worth repeating anymore. We're drawing a line here. But we're going to report what else we found because it's interesting, guys. And we're going to provide part 1, the link to part 1. But already in here we had found several. We had found AT&T, Hawaiian Electric, the mathematical constant. These were all stock exchanges, and the mathematical constant. You had some translations that came down to here. I'm just recapping, guys. You had the HHA, which was Harmonization for Health in Africa, which hit a lot of medical organizations and other stuff within that code. And we had already gotten all the way down to the decoding the translations, guys, where we came up with by coincidence, apparently, or whatever people might want to think. You have come up with more stock exchange and mathematical constants. You come up with some artificial intelligence. So, oh yeah, this is still the recap. Then you had is in Hindi, and you had TE, which stood for T in Spanish. Is was this, T is TE, or TE is TEA in Spanish. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We were still in the middle of, now I know what we're doing. We were still in the middle of this translation right here. And right where this line is was where we left off last video. All right. So after that line, guys, I found Sprint on the New York Stock Exchange. I found ETEA turned out to be Enhanced Tiny Encryption Algorithm, and we're with embedding. All right. And as computer systems become pervasive and complex, security is increasingly important. Secure transmissions refer to the transfer of data such as confident or proprietary information over a secure channel. Many secure transmission methods require a type of encryption. Secure transmissions are there. Then they talk about embedding encryption, guys. A data hiding technique called stenography, along with the technique of encryption. Now, we had computing sciences before, guys, and here we hit another computing science in the same song within the same code. So I found that to be quite interesting. All right. We found AET meant, and AET, we're coming backwards up here, guys. This was where we started to come, make sure I'm showing it. We're starting to come backwards now here. And we hit AET, which ended up being AETNA, incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange, followed by the mathematical constant E. All right. You also had Sprint on the New York Stock Exchange, okay? Right in there, right before that. HSI, right after the mathematical constant, guys, you had HSI, which ended up being Hang Seng Index, which is I read on this, and I'm going to provide these links, guys. I decided to find out what that was because I didn't recognize it. And the Hang Seng Index, or HSI, is a market capitalization weighted index of the largest companies that trade on the Hong Kong Exchange. A subsidiary of the Hang Seng Bank maintains the Hang Seng Index and has done so since 1969. So, guys, as soon as they hit the Hang Seng Index, they can hit the Hang Seng Bank with the same code. All right, now that falls right into these financial things we're finding all over here, guys. So that was an interesting thing. And then you had ER and RE right back, right? They pretty much you had ER and RE, but you got to remember we're dealing with quantums, and we had elements back up there. So I saw coming backwards ER here and RE here, and that's two elements back to back. All right. And then you had HT, which ends up being Hersha Hospitality Trust. All right. And then T, of course, by itself is AT&T, and H by itself is that artificial intelligence. I'm not going to provide the artificial intelligence link again. I did in part one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's there. But so then we had to take down, we did it again, guys, because we found two more translations in here. All right. And we'll, again, post a video explaining what we're doing. But for those of you who know, is translated to this in Hindi, and TE, once again, translated to T in English, or Spanish, I guess. And so we brought THISTEA down. All right. This is where we're starting to repeat, guys. So now you've got the TH gene again. You've got EA, which is Engineering, Science, and Tech Incorporated, and we had that up in part one. All right. So that's the same code. You got AET once again, which is Athena Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. Interestingly enough, guys, you got SIH down here, which is a medical group, okay? SIH ends up being SIH Medical Group. All right. I might just provide my search here, guys, because they've got SIH Laboratories Services, they've got SIH Medical Group, they've got somewhere down here I saw Cancer, SIH Cancer Institute, guys, and that's a Facebook homepage, but they obviously have an SIH Cancer Institute. So a lot of medical stuff there, guys. And remember, in part one, and we'll provide the link to part one up here, HHA and the World Health Organization right here, and now down here we have SIH Medical Group. Interesting, guys. And other than that, you got this New York Stock Exchange, and then it was going to repeat TEA, and that was going to continue to repeat, guys. So we're going to cut the line there, and we're going to say, and guys, let me just also say that this started out with only this. These were our changes. I think it was under a percent variance, or right, I'd have to go look, but you only had this to start with, and we got that much out of HATHE, guys. And not only that, but it all seems to, you got a few elements on the periodic table. You got some translations that code down. You've got quite a bit of stock and financial stuff in here, guys. That bank, the Hong Kong index, and AT&T, Sprint, Athena Incorporated. You've got some health stuff hit. You got some computing science stuff hit. So I guess if you ask me why Creedence Clearwater Revival, have you ever seen the rain changed just a little bit? My answer to you would be because at that time they were calculating some financial stuff on the stock exchange and on Hong Kong Stock Exchange. They were calculating some medical stuff, and they were calculating some computer science stuff, guys. And it left the code. And that's pretty much what the ripple that went through that song. That's what that wave was calculating. That's what that quantum computer was calculating at that time. And that song was collateral damage, guys. But that's the collateral damage. We can see what they're doing. We can literally look at what they're doing to a point. We don't have all the information. I'm not getting all the code. I'm not scrambling the letters in countless ways. Because if I did, I'd be here. I'd be here all, like I said in the previous video, I'd be here for a year calculating one song, and I would answer nothing. But this way, we're getting a little bit of a picture of what they're looking for, and we'll move on to another song and get a little bit more of that picture. So, and if you've been following along, you're getting a little bit of the picture. I mean, you're getting, if you've seen them also, if you've seen our videos so far and you're following along and you see what we see, then you're seeing, I want to say, it seems like a fair amount of stuff that we're catching and we're telling you guys. I mean, it does, but in reality, it's not. This is a very, very small, everything we've done so far is such a very, just a tiny sliver of what they're calculating, guys. I'm telling you, the codes are going to be in everything, not just these songs, but we don't, me nor my fiance nor nobody we know has a way to calculate logos or movies or anything else to figure this stuff out, but we can continue doing this with these collateral damage minor song changes. So that's going to be it for now, guys. That's what we found. I said I was going to do a new song, but I might go back and do Have You Ever Seen the Rain, because that's kind of haunting me. Or not. Now I want to do it the other way. Heard It Through the Grapevine. So I'm going to think about that. I may decode Heard It Through the Grapevine since it's been haunting me and I've been wanting to call this song that song. And I know better. It's something telling me to decode it. And I might do a new song. And if I do one next, I'll do the other following. So, but anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I don't know that it's a thumbs video. We're putting our findings out there. We finished decoding Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And not much more, but some interesting connections to the top, or to the first part of the decoding. So it's all right there in front of your faces, or our faces. I don't know if anybody can see this at all, but you can pause it, take a look, pause it at various spots. I'll try to. If anyone wants to pause it at home and take a good look at what it is. I know my handwriting's not the greatest, but anyway, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your feedback. And we hope somebody's getting some answers out of this. And like I said, it's not a very huge piece of the puzzle. And even if we calculate a whole 100 pages of graph, it would still be a very small sliver of information compared to what the quantum computers are actually doing. All right, that's what we think. That's my opinion. That's our opinion. But it's better than nothing, and it's a part of the picture that we can piece together and kind of get a view of what they're looking at. Again, so far, computers stuff, science stuff, chemical stuff, elements, compounds, financial stuff. Am I missing anything? What? I don't think so. Lots of that stuff going on, but we've only scratched the surface. And thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for sticking with us and being patient. We know it's complicated stuff, and we hope we're able to provide some answers and some more answers soon. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your evening.